holidays are going great. Welcome to another edition of Extra Butter. Grab some cocoa, curl up by a fire, or whatever, and hang out as we talk about historically what will go down as one of the greatest cinematic masterpieces of all time. It sounds like I'm overhyping, but seriously, wait till you see 1917. We'll catch up with the cast and crew. Also, headed to award season, Just Mercy is amazing, as is Little Women. We got the stars of them all. Yeah, we'll be talking about that and more on this edition of Extra Butter. Oh my God, you're back. I love you guys.
Bang.
It is the holiday edition of Extra Butter. You know, because all the key players are here right now. Whoa. Over there, Walt famous comedian traveler Steph Sanders.
Steph Sanders. I am Steph Sanders everywhere. Grown man hair, 12-year-old body.
Looking good, butching up.
Yeah. Life-size Barbie in the building.
In the building.
Kind of has a Barbie vibe going on, and she travels around the world worshiping the sun, Kelly Savannah Deaton.
Woo! Kelly Savannah Deaton. I keep it easy. She keeps it easy.
Over here, her Instagram followers, every time I see it, it flips and doubles and triples and quadruples. The same with her YouTube account. It's the world famous Maria Gloria. Questions, comments, complaints, and concerns. It's at TV Marcus Allen. All right, guys. Star Wars still crushing it at the box office.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming.
Oh, no. What?
I wonder why.
I thought we said no more Star Wars talk.
Is that a
I
new
thought we
movie?
put a leash on him.
No one ever said
Who
that.
was in charge of it?
No one once said no more Star Wars
Kelly.
talk.
I'm sorry.
Kelly.
I accidentally let go of the leash.
Mark has Star Wars underwear.
I will tell you this, if you read LA Times, New York Times, Wall Street Journal,
Coffee
everybody's
Street
saying
Times.
exactly like they're geniuses, reiterating exactly what I said on the show last week.
Are you calling
And that's
yourself
that,
a genius?
no, that the whole Baby Yoda thing is bringing non-Star Wars people
I want
to
that
the
off my
theater.
timeline.
Yes.
I want Baby Yoda, but it was
Baby Yoda
cute.
is
Pretty much
cute.
done with it.
I want it, and you were supposed to, this week, you were supposed to bring
Bring
us all
Baby
a
Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
Sorry, it's like my week got thrown away. I barely had any time. I did, however, sit down with the one guy that's been in every single Star Wars movie ever. Anybody
Mark.
know?
C-3PO.
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 I still got it.
Right, right.
It's
You're talking about Chris Paul.
The one and only.
All right.
CP3 is Chris Paul.
So,
Point guard.
all right,
Yeah,
stay on target. Stay on target. That's another Star Warsism.
I know.
I sat down with
We
C-3PO's Anthony Daniels and the world famous Junus. Who is that? He's the new Chewbacca. We talked. Take a look.
There you go.
Got it. So for you, this has to mean a tremendous amount. I mean, this has been the bulk of your life now.
It has. It really has, 43 years. And I'm so proud that I've reached this moment, so proud that I've been in all of them, and so proud that the saga is so great as it is, and what a final terrific ending this film is.
And as you welcomed him into the family, did you say, "Kid, here's what you're in store for"?
Absolutely not. He's
Please
7 foot
use
tall.
those words.
No, and of course, being there all the time, I have seen people, arrive and depart and arrive and depart. But everybody on the set is a Star Wars fan.
Give us your Wookiee. Get that guy some fiber.
Are you having a
Prunes, Chewbacca.
colonoscopy? What's going on over here?
Is there are there not prunes in the Star Wars universe? Evidently not. All right, behind the scenes Star Wars, we just won awards from me on our special behind the scenes Star Wars. Check it out on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, then you know where to go. In the meantime, if Star Wars is sold out, might I suggest Little Women? It's very much the same.
Oh, wow.
It is not the same.
Oh.
So definitely go see it because let me tell you why. Greta Gerwig at the helm.
Yes.
She's incredible.
Yes.
Lady
Yep.
Bird.
Yes.
And also the producer called this reiteration of it.
Yep.
Punk rock meets Shakespeare.
Love
We
it.
love that.
Yes.
It's kind of funny.
love
Like
that.
the
It's
book was
modern.
written in the late 1800s, and the movie, of course, is set in that time.
But-
However, doesn't it play like super contemporary?
It does.
Really
It was
did.
very much like, am I watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
Yeah,
Right.
I'm telling you, a lot of people are like, I already saw the 1994 version. What more is there?
Right.
But you
It's a
gotta
reality
go see
TV
it.
show
It's
that goes
in
like it.
It's very modern. You have Timothee CHalamet.
Yeah, and both of
Ooh.
you two love the Bad
We
Boys, so I
love
know you're all over that.
Oh, we
I love
love
the Bad
him.
Boys. Have you met my fiance?
Oh, God. Have you met
Yeah,
mine?
not a bad thing.
Have you met the Brandons?
What?
But I do love the Bad
When you're
Boys.
playing for keeps, you look for
Yeah.
something totally different. This is a much longer show.
Yeah.
I sat down with the Academy Award nominated, and I guarantee you to be nominated again, Greta Gerwig, to talk about it.
Greta Gerwig.
Take a look. How did this all happen? While you were shooting Lady Bird in Sacramento, California, on the wrap, did you guys go, you know what we should do? Let's get together.
No, I had written Little Women before I shot Lady Bird. So I had written Little Women. I wanted to direct it, but I hadn't directed anything yet. And then I directed Lady Bird. Then it came out, and then they came back and said, "Do you want to direct Little Women?" And I was just incredibly eager to. And I started plotting this as I was releasing Lady Bird. I was like, I've got another shot. I think as a filmmaker, you're always like, oh my God, they're gonna let me do it again. Go, go, go! Like, you just can't believe it. It's so exciting, and it was a big risk to make this movie, and people don't make movies like this anymore. And I'm eternally grateful to Sony, and I'm eternally grateful to Amy Pascal, who's my producer, and then these beautiful actors who came to play, and Timothee come along.
Do you find that a lot of your work's done and some of the pressure's off, knowing that Laurie and Joe are going to come together with instant chemistry because you've got this history?
Yeah,
with Ms.
well,
Ronan?
we had with Saoirse, I mean, I don't know, I guess you can never feel guaranteed about it, and I think by the very nature of good working relationships, I don't really know what makes it work, or I don't know what it is, or if it does. I think I'm happy, a lot of folks have been happy seeing the movie or watching it, and yet it's really Greta. It's like the comfort of being in front of her and being with Saoirse in front of Greta. And we rehearsed that scene. We rehearsed every scene in this movie. We had like a workshop in Amy Pascal's farm. It was like a creative farm, and we'd go there and rehearse every day. Rehearsed a lot of scenes. We did that proposal one once, and Greta was like, "Shut up. Let's just do it on the day. Like, this is let's not even touch it."
Yeah, how
And
awesome
you guys go way
are
back,
they?
right?
Yeah, I've known Greta. Like I've seen Greta in high school productions when she was doing. There's a very
Crazy.
specific type of filmmaking that she and her friends all started called mumblecore.
Okay.
And I saw some of her early films when that was going on, and then she moved to New York and blew up and became a huge deal.
Yeah.
And now she
Ridiculous. Right, and I
Yeah,
guarantee it.
wow.
Google this. Her other half is going to be nominated for an
Oh,
Academy
Marriage
Award.
Story.
Alongside her for Marriage Story, but that's another conversation. We would be remiss with the Little Women Talk without talking to the women, and we did. Take a look. This is, I gotta be honest, a little intimidating. It's less of an interview, it feels more like an intervention. Okay, I have a problem, I'll get help, I understand.
Come to the Little Women.
Yeah, exactly.
We will
Come to the Little Women.
Hi, we're the Little Women.
It's like you could start a band, that could be your band. When does your track drop? I'll get it. I understand that some discussions of all of this may have started on the set in Sacramento, California of Lady Bird, that Greta may have been opening the discussion about you being in this.
Not on the set. The film had been made, and we were doing press for Lady Bird, and we were at an award show, as you are, and I just heard that she was doing it, and she hadn't said anything to me yet about it, and I just like tapped her on the shoulder, and she turned around, and I was like, I know you're doing Little Women, and I think I should be Joe, and you can go away and think about it. Don't talk to me about it now, and we'll you should let me be Joe. And so that's sort of how it happened. And actually, when Greta went to the studio to pitch the movie, she hadn't made Lady Bird at that stage, so nobody knew. She wasn't like Greta Gerwig yet. And she went to this massive studio, had done like indie movies, all that sort of stuff, hadn't directed on her own, and she was like, I need to make this film. So it was really interesting, and Joe obviously did exactly the same thing in the movie. It was really interesting how that came out in us.
And now, fast forward, here we are.
And now we're the Little Women.
Yeah, 'tis the season. We are deep into award season. I guarantee you're going to see nominations from that room and from that movie.
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
That movie's awesome.
I mean,
movie.
Greta alone, always
Yeah.
the nominee,
And there's a monologue in the middle of it by Florence. People are saying
Oh,
that
yeah.
could get her an Academy Award.
I'm saying, go see this movie, even if you think, I don't like period pieces.
It's not,
no, it's not.
It's
Yeah.
not.
It's a chick
It's like
film.
watching I keep bringing back the Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but it's
But
very
better.
much like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it reads like that. It has that cattiness, that drama, that entertainment. I mean,
The
come
love
on, guys.
story.
You
Hey,
like
no
Real Housewives of
freak, Maria.
Atlanta,
Yeah.
New Jersey, DC, you love this.
Yeah,
It
go
doesn't
see
matter.
Little Women. You are going to love this movie.
Yep.
All right, again, you may be saying, I don't like war movies, but I'm telling you, 1917
man.
is a masterpiece and one of the greatest achievements in cinema in the last 100 years. Yeah, I said it.
That's a
Yeah.
flex.
Talk about that next.
Yeah.
Are we at the gym?
Hey, welcome back. Hope you're feeling joyful and triumphant this holiday season. Dawn, we now are award-winning movies. Oh, okay. All right, so let's see. We got Little Women out of the way. Going to be nominated for
We got
Academy
Star
Award.
Yes.
Wars out of the
Now
way.
let's move on to 1917.
Oh.
All right, I'm just going to say something, then I'll shut up and let you talk amongst yourselves. This movie is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
This movie breaks grounds, shooting techniques that have never been done before to this extent.
Cameras developed
Cameras
Yes.
developed for
just for this.
just for this
Wow.
movie.
Again, new technologies.
You got to see it.
He directed Skyfall. You gotta go see it.
Yeah, Skyfall.
You gotta go see it.
You're talking about Sam Mendes.
Sam Mendes,
Fantastic, yes.
Roger Deakins.
Go see this movie. I'll shut
Yeah.
up. Why should they go see this
Okay,
movie?
at first, I'm not a huge fan of war movies, so I'm like, great, 1970. And then you see it, and you're like, holy, the whole time you're watching it, you guys, you need anti-anxiety medicine
Yeah.
because
Yes.
it's
That's
shot in one continuous take.
Yep.
So what that means is usually in a movie, you have this, the camera on you, the
Yeah,
camera on
yeah.
you, the camera on you, the camera doesn't move, it follows, so you're in the trenches
Wow.
with these
Yep.
two soldiers,
Yep.
and there's a time clock, two soldiers, there's some family.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Like virtual reality.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's yes,
Virtual
exactly,
reality.
Right.
Yeah.
exactly. It's exactly
Yeah.
like playing a video
Love it.
game.
And were you blown away that they said it was going to be one take, but it
It's
travels
not.
like 10 miles?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so good. It really puts you there with them. Like you feel like you're
It's
in there.
horrifying.
And unlike Kelly, I actually love war movies, but I'm super picky about them. This one, stamp of approval.
Yeah.
All right.
Boom.
These legendary filmmakers are teamed up together with these young actors, and they won the lottery because this
Yeah.
movie and these parts are going to be
It's
talked
gonna-
about
Wow.
forever.
Yeah.
You talked to the cast and crew about
I
it.
did, and I just talked about how amazing it is that they managed to pull this off.
Can you talk about the filming process and how you accomplished this?
How long have you got?
We've got
a
plenty of time, guys, right? Come on.
It's a very complicated process, but at the same time, you know, a lot of it was done before we started shooting. You know, we had to measure every step of the journey, so we couldn't dig trenches until we knew how long the journey through the trenches was. So we started off on empty fields, holding a script, marking out the journeys and where the scenes happened with posts, and then we dug the trenches. And then obviously you've got to do the same thing with no man's land and the German trenches and quarries and orchards and farmhouses and towns at night. None of that was constructed until we knew exactly the journey they had to take.
What did you guys find most enjoyable about filming this movie and most challenging?
Do you know what? The most enjoyable bit was when we finally got the take correct, because you know we'd rehearsed it for 6 months over and over again, and then on a filming day we'd probably rehearse it about 20 times before we even started, putting it on camera, and then we'd do like 20, 30, 40 takes. But when you knew that we got that take, it was a mutual yes, thank God, celebration, high fives, and that was the most enjoyable bit of it.
I bet. I could only imagine. What about for you?
I think the same. It was all, as much as it was, it was hard. We genuinely had a great time.
The most difficult thing of all of it was you'd go into like 4 minutes to 5 minutes and the tension would mount because you've got to get it right all the way up to the end of the cut, 8 minutes or whatever. And then the end's got to be right because that's got to fit with the next coming take. So the pressure mounted up the longer the shot went on. That was really interesting.
Can you talk about working with Sam and co-writing the script with him and your collaborative process?
Just very open, honest, so easy to work with. You're not afraid to pitch him bad ideas, which is so important because if you can't do that, you never get to the good ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the thing that I find, really very special is that he treats me as an equal. I'm never treated as junior or, the woman in the room that doesn't know about war.
That's
which
huge.
it is. It's a massive, massive thing, really, when you consider it. And so to be treated as an equal, to have an equal voice in the script, it was just such a joy.
Yeah, I almost started weeping just seeing them talk about it again. This movie is magnificent.
Yes.
Again, go see 1917. You're going to love it.
And you have to see it on the big screen. I know
Have to.
people say that all
Have
the
to.
time, but to get the fully immersive experience and the sound of the
Right.
and the suspense,
The
you
real
have
quality.
the real quality, exactly. You
All right.
have to go see it in theaters.
Yes.
It's not your typical
You'll feel
war
like you're
movie.
there.
That's right.
Yeah.
All
And
right,
get
yeah.
anxiety meds.
Based on real events in World War I. All right, let's keep the true stories and let's keep the Academy Awards coming with Just Mercy. Sitting down with the cast and crew of that next. Hey, welcome back to Extra Butter. It's our holiday special. We talk about all the things hidden in that you need to go see that will also go on to win Academy Awards.
For sure.
Now, a lot of time, Academy Award-winning movies are those movies that no one has seen or will go see. But so far, we talked about Little Women. People should go see that. Talked about 1917. People should go see that. And Just Mercy. Why are you still sitting there? Go see this movie.
I mean, come on, guys. Michael B. Jordan. First of all, what are you still doing? Like,
And
what
he's
are you still doing? What are
He's
you
not
still
just a
doing?
pretty face either.
No.
He's the one that read the book, brought this to the screen, produced it, played a killer role. The court scenes in this, him as the main attorney.
And he read the book because he saw the TED Talk.
Yeah, exactly. And he said he was almost embarrassed like you sometimes, that you aren't aware of certain things
I
in
knew
history
about this Brian Stevenson. I knew about. We told you about the story, and Jamie Foxx and him, Michael B. Jordan, absolutely destroyed it.
Jamie Foxx takes home this movie a very personal connection. Our own Julian Soto. Hey, big round of applause, Julian Soto. Popped up to San Francisco to talk to him about it. Take a look.
My father, who was placed in jail for $25 worth of illegal substance, got a chance to watch the movie with my mom, with my sisters, with our family, and it opens you up, you know, in a good and a bad way. You know, he lived that, you know, to be an educator, and the next thing you know, he's sitting in the jail cell with people that he taught in school, and he looked and he saw just a vast amount of African American males just wasted away. So when he saw the film, me watching him watch it and the tears running down his eyes, we know now that the film has done its job.
Yeah, I see. Wow. And that's just a handful. Everybody has a personal connection, a story that's just not far removed from what we're talking about with Just Mercy.
It's either happened to you or you know someone that has happened to.
And Michael B. Jordan, the fact that it fell in his hands at that moment is pretty amazing. And if you watch them, like, they admire each other so much, Michael B. Jordan and Jamie Foxx. Like, I love it. I was hoping they'd do a movie.
That scene in the courtroom.
Yeah. Ooh.
And it had the extras gave them standing ovations.
Yeah.
You
saw, yeah. And then Jamie Foxx had already texted Michael B. Jordan, because Jamie Foxx said he went up to Michael B. Jordan to say, and he said, "Get off me," because it was so emotional. And he went outside, and Jamie Foxx wrote him this novel about how good he did, and Michael B. Jordan was crying, and so we can cry.
Cathartic expression at its best.
Wait till you see it. Don't wait to go see it. Just Mercy now in theaters everywhere for your holiday season and award season ramp up. All right, coming up next, speaking of Academy Awards, it's probably not going to get it. I don't know. That might be mean, but Spies in Disguise hits theaters. We'll be talking about that next.
Okay.
Love Will Smith, though.
We love Will Smith.
And Tom Holland.
It worked. Subject appears disoriented.
Walter, what did you do?
Pigeons are everywhere and nobody notices them. It's the most perfect form a spy could take.
Unbird me right now. Stop, girl, seriously.
Hey! Oh, welcome back to Extra Butter. I didn't realize it's a party. Who are you guys? Where are you from? Hey, it's my favorite place on the planet. Thanks for hanging out. Have you guys heard of the movie Spies in Disguise?
Yeah.
All right, we got a hearty yes and no. Anyway, you're dismissed.
Wait, what are you going to see right now? What are you seeing? Oh, how was it? Amazing. Settle a debate. Who's better, The Rock or Kevin Hart? The Rock. Oh, we're hearing big things.
I've got to take advantage of this moment. Be sure and watch our Jumanji special on YouTube on a show called Extra Butter. Okay? What's the name of that show again? Extra Butter. One more time.
Extra Butter. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Sorry.
What's up, man?
Had to take advantage of that little focus group.
I know.
Thumbs up for Jumanji over there. In the meantime, we had a chance to sit down with the cast and crew of Spies in Disguise. If you're taking the kids to see a movie, you got to take them to go see an animated movie. It's kind of a mom rule, right?
Yeah, it's one of those things though, like, there's movies, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes being a mom, you gotta sit through some really bad films, guys, and it's just one of, it's just one of those things you gotta do.
I was gonna say.
It's just one of those things you gotta do.
I know exactly.
Right? Yeah. I mean, we can relate, right. And this was one of those movies that I actually enjoyed.
I would go see this alone.
Yeah, I would go see it alone too.
You got Tom Holland.
I wouldn't
you got
see it
Will
alone,
Smith.
but I'll come with you and see it again with your kids.
Yeah.
We caught up with Will Smith about why you should go see it. Take a look.
My character, I'm like the top like special agent ever. and Tom Holland is this crazy scientist, and he's come up with this new concealment technology, and he turns me into a pigeon. Right, so I go from like the coolest special agent in the world, and now I'm trying to fight crime as a pigeon. And he only learned how to turn me into one, but he doesn't know how to turn me back. So there's some really cool ideas. What I loved about it is my character is really solo-minded. You know, one of his lines is "I fly solo" as a human, and when he turns into a pigeon, he sort of starts to understand the necessity for the team and the flock mentality. So there's some really good ideas at the core of the film.
All right, so Spies in Disguise now playing in theaters everywhere.
Yeah.
Ad Astra now available on home video. I had a chance to go to Richard Branson's spaceport to talk about it.
Wow.
I got to hang out in one of those moon buggies, and we caught up back in the day with, who's your boyfriend again?
Brad Pitt?
First of all, I love the genre, and I think James Gray came up with something that is a really strong addition to the sci-fi genre. And then this, you know, it packaged this partial action film with this real investigation of the self in the search for the father, and I think that's what I most was drawn to in the character.
So it turns out Brad Pitt's not a real astronaut. Did you guys know that?
I
could not.
No, but he can do anything.
Since when?
Did he see Star Wars?
He did, so that qualifies him. I had a chance to sit down with not so much an astronaut, a guy that was one of the major ballers. Can you call a NASA person a baller?
Sure.
Yeah, he was. Take a look.
For sure.
What kind of movies got you into space? You saw films as a kid like we all did, only you followed through.
Absolutely. Well, I saw films, but I also saw the real thing. I was very fortunate as a kid to watch the moon landings live. And that was really a great spark for me. But yeah, at the same time, there were movies like Marooned and Silent Running, some lesser known films, but to me they were great, at the time, great space films. And I loved the television. I loved Star Trek, even quasi-science fiction, but The $6 Million Man was my favorite show.
Ad Astra, highly accurate space movie. Set in space, starring both of your ex-boyfriends.
That's all. No ex, just like side piece.
This current side piece.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Brad Pitt, space, emotional.
Brad Pitt.
That's all you need to know.
There you go.
That's
Happy
a tweet.
holidays, Team Extra Moto. Right. Have yourself a good one. Go hug somebody and see a movie. Peace out.
Go see it.